Every day, the world watches videos of Donald Trump signing executive orders and restructuring U.S. government agencies, all under the banner of making America great again. But what if with every signature, he's actually weakening the U.S. on the global stage and opening doors for one of America's biggest geopolitical rivals to step in? In his first month in office, Trump has withdrawn the United States from key international organizations and agreements. The World Health Organization, gone. The Paris Climate Accords, abandoned. He even pulled the US out of the United Nations. Human Rights Council. Regardless of whether you support these moves, the result is clear. Each step back by the US creates a gap in global leadership. Now, Trump's latest move, shutting down USAID, has handed China a significant geopolitical advantage in 2025, he said. The United States Agency for International Development was established to provide humanitarian aid, combat poverty, and support development efforts in struggling nations. While it has funded genuine charitable initiatives like disaster relief and healthcare programs, that's only part of the story. USAID has also been tied to political interference, corruption, and regime change efforts worldwide. It's often been used as a tool to push US foreign policy, sometimes destabilizing the very countries it claimed to help. Additionally, USAID has been a key player in spreading anti-China narratives in an international media battle. Last September, the House of Representatives approved a $1.6 billion bill aimed at funding anti-China propaganda overseas. As highlighted by Responsible Statecraft, this effort was largely focused on undermining Beijing's Belt and Road initiatives globally. With USAID now shuttered, the power dynamic is shifting, signaling not just a retreat of American influence, but a boost for China's international standing. China, meanwhile, is ramping up its global investments, stepping into negotiation roles in international conflicts, and using the Belt and Road Initiative to solidify its presence in the developing world. While Trump brands his approach as America First, in reality, it seems more like America is handing over global leadership to China. A recent Business Insider article points out that closing USAID could strengthen China's influence. Historically, USAID wasn't purely a humanitarian organization. It worked strategically with countries that served US interests. Democratic Senator Andy Kim has acknowledged that while USAID provides aid to fight disease and famine, it also acts as a countermeasure against the growing influence of authoritarian regimes like China, Russia, and Iran. The shutdown of USAID has also shed light on how much the US has been investing in global propaganda. In 2023 alone, the agency trained over 6,200 journalists, supported 707 non-state media outlets, and funded 279 media-focused civil society organizations. Congress allocated $268 million in the 2025 foreign aid budget, specifically to support independent media and the flow of information, essentially a massive push for US narratives abroad. This raises a serious question. How much of the world's so-called independent journalism is truly free from government influence? Platforms like YouTube have become go-to sources for people seeking genuinely independent media outside the grasp of state-sponsored propaganda. The irony is hard to miss. The US, often portrayed as a beacon of democracy, seems to be mirroring the very practices it criticizes in other nations. As Trump's administration continues to dismantle government agencies without congressional approval and appoint billionaires like Elon Musk to unofficial government roles, America's allies in Europe and Canada are left stunned. According to the Financial Times, the US is no longer seen as a reliable partner by its European allies. The Trump administration's pressure on Europe, from trade policies to security issues, has forced many nations to rethink their dependence on America. For Europe, the path forward may now involve reducing its reliance on US support and strengthening its own political and economic independence. In short, Trump's decisions are not just reshaping America's internal policies, they're redrawing the lines of global influence. With the US pulling back, China is seizing the moment and the world is adjusting to a new balance of power. Mustang Energy has joined forces with industry leaders like Axiom Exploration, DeRouge Geological Consulting, Red Cloud Securities, and Sky Harbor Resources. I often emphasize in my videos that understanding geopolitics is crucial because it shapes the future of our markets. As we've witnessed recently with Donald Trump's time in office, policies and entire industries can shift overnight based on who holds power in the White House.